Hi everybody, come on in. There's a little chair here for someone. Oh boy, you know, it's a beautiful sunny day but very cold. When we were driving downtown this morning it was 9 degrees. I guess that's Celsius, so 99 is 18, 28, 38, well, I don't know what it is, 40 degrees. It wasn't very warm. And I have my Nobel dendrobium I had on not too long ago, and my cymbidium. Well, the cymbidium has been on the east side of the house the whole summer. Yes, it's been hot, but it was in an area where it gets a lot of reflected light. And what is reflected light? It's not in the direct sun at any time because it was close to the house. So, and even when the sun was in the west, it's behind the house. But it's getting light from the sky and it's getting the morning light. So, even though it was the hottest year on record and the driest year, it was in a cooler place, and it's been outside there ever since. Do you remember the axe attack? When this cymbidium was huge, and it is a beautiful, hardy, flowering cymbidium, and it's been this way for years, and always given me lots of flowers, but it had stayed in the pot I had it in too long. I had an awful time getting it out, and I broke it into 3 pieces, and I kept one, and I gave my daughter Rosemary that lives in Kamloops one, and I said that one of the girls, a subscriber, had asked just out of the blue for one, and she was the first and only person to ask. And so her name was Debbie, and she got one, and she was nice enough to pay the postage, which, even though it was still in BC, was still $50. So thank you very much, Debbie, for doing that. And so we have our plants. Now, how is everybody's doing? I know Rosemary, she messaged me the other day, Mom, it's getting frosty here. Do you think I should bring it in? Yes, if it's getting frosty. Now, if you live somewhere where you can have your cymbidium outside all year, that's nice for you. But for us, it's a no-no. So, they can take a bit of frost, but I would not try a second day. You know, bring them into a cooler place. So, not necessarily in the house. So, like Rosemary says, does it need a lot of light? Well, yes, it still needs light. And so if you don't have a room that stays cooler, like I've got it in the patio, so it's about 10 degrees warmer in the patio than it is outside. So right now it's really nice in the daytime. It warms up, it gets the sun on the glass surrounding the solarium. And but at night it is getting very cold, but it can't freeze and it won't get frost. So if you have a patio, a balcony, a garage, somewhere where the temperature isn't going to freeze, but it's cooler and it still gets lots of light, even if you have to supply a LED light. So that's what they like. So mine is on my patio. Now, funny thing, I've been cleaning it up. I was going to wait till spring, but we did have a bit of rain for a couple days, and this is what I've been picking off of it. And at night it rained. A couple nights ago it rained all night, I think. But it's been beautiful in the daytime. It's just gorgeous weather, and we have no water restrictions now, but the lake is still dry. So we're hoping for lots of snow. Not very often you hope for lots of snow, but I'm hoping. I'd rather it come down as snow than pouring rain all winter anyway, because the snow is beautiful. So, and we get a bit of exercise. So anyway, yes, don't let it freeze, because if you remember, what happened was I'd always put my dendrobium and my cymbidium and my geraniums, which I had a whole bunch. I had always put them in the greenhouse for the winter. So probably not till Halloween, the end of October usually, but it's getting cooler at night, a little quicker than normal maybe. And anyway, they were all in the greenhouse last winter, and talk about record cold, it froze last winter. We have put 3 layers of plastic over that greenhouse every year since 2011 with a bubble wrap in between. We've never had it freeze, and everything froze that was in there, and most of it I lost. I lost one of the dendrobiums, one made it and flowered beautifully. Now, the cymbidium made it. There was some mushy leaves and things, and I picked it off, and then last year I should I'll have to note the video in flower. I'll look it up and put it in the comment section under this video. And they had a beautiful, flowers kept coming. Some were out in the greenhouse, some came out later here, and even quite a bit later there was flowers coming. It is a beautiful plant. So, and they lasted a long time. So I thought, well, there was a few places, and I'm going to show you a close-up after, where the older leaves die back, and then it leaves a husk on the outside of the bulb. And that's what I was picking. You can see the shape of the bulb. And pulling that off, I have a little pair of pliers that, because my hands don't squeeze very good, but I'm working on them, then I would use these little pliers because they're great for getting hold of things and pulling them off. So I've been doing that. I may do a little more, but I don't want to do it too much more, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'll have to show you. Now, this has been flowering for quite a long time, and other times, but never have I seen spikes coming at this time. It's way too early for spikes, but the cold, the cooler evenings, even though it was so hot, the cooler evenings came quicker, because some of my orchids that were out, most of them were out in the patio, they're spiking. And son of a gun, I think I see spikes coming on this. Now, I could be wrong. I mean, they look like what the spikes look like when they come out, but it's just so early. I just don't know. So I'm going to show you a close-up of them in a few minutes. And see what you think. And see if anybody else has got some coming on there. So this crazy weather. I'm telling you, it is beautiful though, right? The fall and the spring, so beautiful. And we've had sunshine since April, so, you know, how lucky are we? I didn't feel lucky when it was over 100 every day, but now it's nice. And also, something else you want to think about this time of the year is, I'm watering my orchids yesterday, and I'm thinking, I seem to have a lot of spikes early. And usually I change my fertilizer. I kind of go like Halloween and Easter. That's easy to remember. So usually about Halloween I switch to a bloom higher middle number. It helps. I think it helps them get more healthier, longer lasting flowers. But, you know, that's debatable. Some people don't think it's necessary, and you can feed an all-round fertilizer all year round. But in the growing season, I like to push a higher nitrogen when they really need it. And I don't think mine would have done so well without a higher nitrogen fertilizer. So pretty soon, I haven't started yet, I'll be switching to my higher middle number. And I have a 1931-17, and I also have a this was 1931-17. Oh, I forgot the other one. Just a minute. Never fails, does it? I always forget something. That's normal for me. This one is almost empty, and this one is 18-27-18 to magnesium. And I hunted for this and heard about it, but I really didn't notice any difference, and I'm not trying to look for it again. I picked up one of these at a garage sale, and I picked up, someone had written flowering on here, so I guess they were feeding it, but maybe they didn't have so good a luck with their orchids. I don't know. So I have these two, 1931-17. So you still got higher numbers. You're not not giving them anything. And excuse me. I probably start that next watering day, because I do have a lot in spikes, and I think I'll do that. Now, my water schedule is, I'm actually only giving Bach fertilizer for, I think it's 2 or 3 of my watering days. I think it's 2. I just did 1, and I got 1 more to go. If anybody wants to see my water schedule, I can post it underneath this video in the comment section if anyone wants to copy it, or you can email me at carolinorchidfriends@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send you it. I've been using it for years, and it's a little bit of a talk with the instructions, but one day I use black tea, which is higher in nitrogen, and they always say thank you when I give them that. So one watering day they will get that, and one watering day they'll get seafood extract, seaweed extract, and they thank me for that. I notice they love it. And one watering day they will get Epsom salts. So then they will get 2 with fertilizer, and one watering day they'll get a fresh water, just water. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry or something, I will change my water flush day where they're just getting water for another day. I gotta get a drink of water. There we go. So you might want to think about your fertilizer, and of course this is the one I have been using from Cloud's Orchids in Ontario, and it has been very good. I bought more of them. I gave one to a local person, and they did go a little wet on me, and I forget, Donna, yeah, I had 4, and so I have 1 left. I gave 1 to Rosemary, and I gave, Donna bought 1 for the $10 that I paid for this. So I think she knew a way to, and I forget what it was, to keep them from getting moist. But this one was under my sink, and I've still used it. And what I do is I boil some water in a small cup, and I put how much I'm using in in the cup, and then I put hot water, and I made sure it's stirred really good before I put it in the water I'm going to water my orchids with. So because this is only a third of the plant I only see 2 spikes coming, but I do see 2 spikes, which is pretty nice considering the massacre that happened with it. And I have cleaned a lot off, and why I picked it off was because I noticed it was quite moist. Now if it's real dry, and it's been not outside, but it has been close to outside. Well, yeah, this has been outside, sorry, it's just come in. And anything could have crawled into these. And it's a good place for bugs to hide. So anything that was loose, I have been pulling off, but I didn't want to go near where the spikes were. And I'm going to show you a close-up of that. So that's kind of what's on the agenda. And I wasn't expecting any spikes, to be honest. There's a lot of growth that's been happening. New ones coming up. You'll see, I'll come in closer for that. And the greenhouse. Now the greenhouse I'm doing differently, and is when I show you this, I'm going to walk you out to the greenhouse, and I'll show you how I've done that, because we're not covering the whole greenhouse over this year. I have taken all the styrofoam. We used to put styrofoam up the outside and then the plastic over everything. And it's a lot of work. You would not believe it. Coming down was easy. Putting up every year was never pleasant. So I've kind of set up a corner of the greenhouse, and I'm going to show you what I've done after we look at this. We'll go outside. So I guess that's about it. How are you guys doing anyway? Like, how are your orchids doing? And do you have a cymbidium? And anything you want me to talk about or anything, just let me know, and I'll do my best to talk about it. So I know I can get gabby sometimes. I'm really quite an introvert, the truth be told, but I just start talking about things I like. And anyway, I'm going to show you a close-up of this, and then we'll go out and look at the greenhouse. So we'll cover some different territory. Okay, I gotta do this carefully. Okay, now let's come in here. So these are the new ones. This is a new one. This is a new one. This one is an older new one, and there's some nice new ones here and back there. But look at here. This is how the flowers look when they first come out, everybody. So I could be wrong. So I see one, and I see another one back in here. So, hey, I'll be happy with anything, because that first year this is some of the old leaves. The color looks good, considering what they've been through. And this is a newer leaf. I don't see any sign of spikes here, but this is what, excuse me, this is what I've been cleaning off, but that's still attached to a leaf. So I have cleaned off quite a bit, as you can see there. And look at Taiying Shin Blue Jay. She is just so beautiful. Her leaves are very pretty. Yeah, she's an early bird. So let's go outside. I'll just leave all this. Spikes are growing. Yeah. Okay. Now, I was going to show you something out here the other day, but I couldn't get in. The door was locked. So anyway, we have 5 of these. We are going to do Hugo raised beds. And that's where you put even logs and branches and compost, and you'll see it when we do it. At least halfway up in your bin before you add your soil and your compost. So we have 5 of these. Jack put one together to see what it would be like, and he's got 4 in boxes. So we're supposed to get our chain link fence done on the 20th, and they're going to run all up where in front of the fence once that wooden fence is coming down. So then we'll see the hedge and the chain link, and we have to level all the ground. All the ground will be leveled, and the bins will go all along here. And this is always in a very sunny location. And a beautiful area for growing. So that'll be a project we'll be letting you follow around with. But let's go see what I've done in the greenhouse. Okay, so normally the plastic was outside. So what I've done is I've gone around the back of these shelvings and I've put styrofoam all the way up. This always went on the outside of the greenhouse, but actually not up this high, only this high. And then I ran some across the top, and then I put the bubble wrap that was normally on the top here. And we're going to put a light in here. I have tomatoes growing. And there's some more in there. And I've got my squash staying nice and cool in here. And the lemon tree's the best it's looked. And down here, I have some pepper growing. And the orange tree in the back. And all my geraniums, so I don't have as many now. I've left a spot for the cymbidium and the dendrobium. They're going to come in here. And these are my flowers that I will keep till spring. And this is we'll keep it so it doesn't get so humid it drips. It will take the dehumidifier and it will water the trees. With the water it takes out the air come winter. That will happen. Plus it throws a little bit of heat. And we will keep it about 50 in here. And we set this all off to come on a timer. So I did all this. And we'll see how that works. Because we're not covering it anymore. I think I have some water here for watering in the winter. And so it's not a lot of room, but it's enough to at least keep our poor lemon and orange tree going. So that's what's happening there. And, oh boy, this is nice. Nice for a day to take Maggie walkie-walkie. Do you want to go walkie-walkie? Huh? You do? Yeah, she does. So I've cleaned up. We used to have raspberries here. And they're a lot of work, and we had crabgrass coming in. And I've dug all them out, and they're over there. And that's some crabgrass. I have to clean all that up. And I have beets, a few more beets and a kohlrabi out there. And that's our apricot tree. And we have all our berry bushes over there, hascap and blueberry. And I'm going to make this a garden for the swing and some fall flowers, and it's going to be a Garden of Eden in my backyard, in the fence, and for fruit. Just not the fruit you weren't supposed to pick. 'Cause I wouldn't have done that. Okay, So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. And I always love to come visit you. Bye for now.